along the waterfront here in Houghton. So I'll be basically following the water more or less down to Chassel today. Just a short day, only 9 miles, and don't have a place to camp, so we'll figure it out. There's a fraternity house down there. Maybe they'll let me camp out on the property behind the house or something. If not, there's a couple churches I can check out. I don't think they allow camping at the park down there, but let's see. It's a nice day. Upper 70s, a little bit of a breeze. Pretty view, huh? Houghton, Michigan, on the way to Chassel. Well, here's the little town of Chassel along US 41 here. Small place. A little general store, gas station, some other businesses. Ice cream shop, just ate down there. And then there's a nice little park, I'll show you that in a second. Staying here, little shrine down the way, not too far from a church, so they gave me permission to do that, so that's what I'll do. But Chassel was a there's a general store, by the way, right there. Chassel started as a forest town, forestry logging town back in the 1800s. And then that continued on till the early 1900s when things died down. But the town itself is still hanging on, much better than some other towns, other small towns that I've seen. But let's go take a look at the park. So here's the Chassel, they call it Centennial Park. Pretty good size for the size of the town it is. Got some play areas for the kids there, picnic shelter, beach, dock, and a boat ramp area, barbecue, and looks like a place for concerts, things like that. So a pretty nice little park, or a pretty nice big park with a nice view of the lake, wouldn't you say? And it's pretty quiet here on an August day, or August evening. Well, this is my first real long stretch of road walking today. This is Highway 41 out of Chassel. But anyway, this is the Sturgeon River, and that's flowing out to the lake there. Quite pretty, but it is kind of a culture shock in a way. I mean, I had a little bit of road walking, highway road walking, maybe a couple miles getting into Hancock the other day, but that was towards the end of the day. The traffic wasn't too bad, and now this is late morning, and it's a Thursday. I think there's some early campers coming out because I noticed a lot of camping gear on cars and canoes and kayaks and things like that. And of course, like usual, I did get a late start. But I have a reason. I went to church this morning, so there you go. Something else I want to mention about these roads in Michigan. They have all had these nice wide shoulders without exception, and then on the side of the shoulder they've had the nice wide fringe of dirt that's actually been relatively flat and not cambered away from the roadside, which has been nice to walk on. I thought that maybe that was just because the roads up there in the Keweenaw were newly paved and rehabilitated, but I see here, even on this older section of the highway, they still got it going like that. So Michigan Department of Transportation, thank you very much. So now the goal right now is I'm going to a place called Gierke's Blueberry Farm, and I'm going to go pick some blueberries and give myself a midday treat before I hoof it on down the final half of my route today, which I'm going to basically just stealth camp out on some random piece of state forest land. It's just a little tract, but I found it on the map. So anyway, just a bunch of road walking today, a little sojourn to a blueberry farm, and then camping out on the forest land, probably with mosquitoes. Oh boy. Well, taking a break here, I thought it would be a good time to tell you something interesting I found out about the Upper Peninsula here. If you look on a map, and here, take a look at this map. If you look on a map of Michigan and Wisconsin, and then the Upper Peninsula up there, you kind of wonder sometimes why the Upper Peninsula didn't become part of Wisconsin, as opposed why did it become part of Michigan when there was that natural barrier and there was never any bridges or anything like that between the Lower Peninsula and the Upper Peninsula. Interesting story. Back in the late 1700s, Ohio and Michigan, when they were still territories, were fighting, so to speak, over this strip called the Toledo Strip, which is about a 500 square mile area that's roughly where the present-day city of Toledo is, as well as Monomy Bay, I forget, some bay. Anyway, Michigan wanted it, Ohio claimed it, and so they never could come to an agreement. And the powers that be in Washington, D.C. said, hey, guys, come on, make some sort of compromise. So anyway, later on, Ohio was willing to compromise, but Michigan was saying, no, 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 we want the whole thing. So there it sat for a while. Now, eventually, Ohio became a state in 1805, and Michigan was formerly part of the Northwest Territory, and then became part of the Indiana Territory when Ohio became a state, and then later became its own territory of Michigan. Subsequently, Wisconsin was in the old Northwest Territory, and then it became a state later after Michigan. So anyway, the territorial maps showed the territory of Michigan as the Lower Peninsula, and it also, for some reason, showed the eastern half of the Upper Peninsula as part of Michigan. So anyway, the dispute between Ohio and Michigan kept going on regarding this Toledo Strip. Ohio became a state in 1805, and then in Andrew Jackson's election, he needed the electoral votes from Ohio. And since territories, didn't have electoral votes, they weren't part of the Union yet, so to speak, then Andrew Jackson sided with Ohio, and this kept the dispute going on. Well, now fast forward to, I think it was 1836, 1838. Might have been a couple years before. Congress decided that since there was a budget surplus that year, they were going to give money back to the states. So territories didn't get any money, but the states got the money. So lo and behold, all of a sudden, Michigan decided to become a state. They were accepted into the Union, and as a prerequisite of joining the Union, they had to accept the Upper Peninsula as part of the state of Michigan, and that's because Wisconsin was still a territory. So, so the consolation prize for Michigan, instead of getting the Toledo Strip, they got the Upper Peninsula portion of what's now Michigan. But if you look at it geographically, here I'll show you the map again. If you look at it geographically, it almost makes a whole lot more sense that the UP should have become part of Wisconsin, right? But that's not the way it happened. And so there is your short history lesson on territories, states, electoral votes, I guess you can say backroom deals, and how states, in this case Michigan, got certain pieces of land. Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Now that's pretty artistic, wouldn't you say? Look, this is a place that does chainsaw carvings. Not just regular wood sculpture, but chainsaw. Bigfoot, oh yeah. Nice eagle. Pretty clever, pretty nice. Those big pieces of wood they're using there. Well, I remember coming across many fields of these on last year's Walk Across America. And here's the first field I've come across of these on this Walk Across America. Such memories, huh? So what am I doing here in this patch of bushes? Well, take a closer look and you might see it's no ordinary bush. It's a blueberry bush. Been picking blueberries. Give myself a snack on the way to the rest of the path today. So I'm at a place called what's it, Giriki Blueberry. Ooh, there's some nice big ones right there. Blueberry farm, and I'm picking me some blueberries to take with me. And I think it's $2 a pound, so not a bad deal. And it's been a nice little respite. It's taken longer than I expected. I thought I'd just come out here and pick, but so anyway, I got half a cup, another half to go. Check back in with you later. I think this is good enough for this afternoon, and maybe for some in the morning too, huh? So now, let's find our way out of here. Go weigh it, see how much I owe. Feels like a pound, so it's probably $2. Let's go take a look and see. Oh, look at those right there. Not quite ready. All right, let's see how much these are. Yeah, look at that, only a half pound. What do you know? All right, so let's see what you do. You get out your money and you put the money in here. Okay, I'll do that. And then you write it down on the ledger there. Okay, let's do that. Okay, I'm all official now. Paid for, written down. Now let's have a seat and see how I did. Oops. First time blueberry picker. Did I get sour ones or did I get sweet ones? Let's see. Oh, That one was sour. That one was sweet. That one was sweet. Sweet and sour. Sort of sweet. Sour. All right, well, I guess I get a for effort. Maybe a C for quality. Yeah, that was a refreshing little stop. I already ate most of them, so I don't think they're going to last till tonight. See if they give me that boost of energy like they did over there on Isle Royale. Now, the ones in Isle Royale, they were just little teeny weeny ones, but these are regular sized ones that you get in the store. So anyway, that was a fun little diversion. It's late though, and it's kind of hot. So 8.3 miles. Let's see how long it takes me to drag it out. If I do 8.3 today, for the rest of the day, that puts me only to 9 tomorrow. Huh. Big deal, huh? Or I could just do, there's another place I can go. It's kind of like 7 miles, and then that gives me 11 tomorrow. So we'll see. Alrighty. Looks refreshing. Ready to jump in? Yeah. Boats in the sea, going nowhere. In a sea of grass, that is. Guess they've seen their finer days, haven't they? Along with those buildings there. That one right there. This one here. That one there too. Hey, guess what? I got to take a shortcut. You know my famous shortcuts. This one's actually going to turn out well. It's right that way. Maybe a little grassy.
A little bit. Might be a little rough.
But you know how I got to be able to do this shortcut? Because of Bethany. Say hello.
Hi.
I was walking down the road and we passed each other and just chatted for a second and went our ways. And then a couple minutes later I hear down the road, "Hey, Mike, you want to cut through our property?"
No one wants to walk on the highway.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Bethany.
No problem.
And what's your husband's name?
Justin.
And thank you very much, Justin, who's not home right now.
No.
I'm going to cut through here and then save a couple miles.
Good luck.
All right.
Walk safe.
All right.
See ya.
Bye-bye. Yeah, this is pretty nice. Thank you again, Bethany. This does save, quite a bit of distance. And it's just like traipsing through the woods, but I've got a clear path. This old road here. So it's actually another fun diversion for today. And just like that, I get to this nice dirt road. So thanks once again, Bethany. It was a nice little cut through, little work there for a few hundred yards. But nonetheless, it was fun. Saved me some distance, so thank you very much. And now the decision is, do I knock it off up here at Arnheim Road? Or do I check out the snowmobile trail for another potential shortcut? Let's see, what should we do? So where do you camp when you're walking along a sort of busy highway and all the land is private? Well, it turns out that I found this little kind of a push out on the side of the highway. It's owned by a private timberland company. It looks like they used it, they bulldozed it, a couple big piles of dirt stuff in the past. It looks like it hasn't been used recently. So I thought this might work, being set back from the highway. So I came back here, found a little bit of a dirt plot, and then a little bit of a somewhat sandy spot. But the problem was it was slanted, so I dug it out a little bit to level it off. So it turned out to be a nice spot to stealth camp overnight off the highway. But the other good thing too is it turns out that this is actually a little strip of state-owned land. So I'm actually stealth camping on public land, which is nice. And the other thing is it's right next to the snowmobile trail. So I'll have easy access to get back onto that for at least a couple miles till I get to, there's a roadside park down this way, about 1 3/4 miles. And then after that I'll get on the highway a little bit and then get back on the snowmobile trail and then back on the highway, just finding the straightest line between 2 points. All right, so into Baraga today. I take a day off. Actually, I'm taking a couple days off because I've got a package coming, and in fact, the package is already there. So the reason I reserved a couple nights is because I thought the package wouldn't be here until later. But anyway, so a couple nights off in Baraga, and then the next leg is on to Marquette. All right, let's hit it. Oh, and the other thing I want to mention too is it was, as flat as it was and soft as it was with the sandy soil, man, as soon as I stopped here last night, like all these mosquitoes. This is the first time I've had to really slather on the bug repellent, but before I did, even in within 10 minutes, man, they bit me all through my clothes. So now I'm itching. But this too shall pass, right? If there's anything about this summer stuff, whether it's here in the North Woods or along the Arkansas River and the Missouri River, is those mosquitoes are not my friends. No siree. Okay, let's get a move on. Another nice view of Lake Superior, this being the, I think it's called the Keweenaw Bay. Anyway, I stopped at one of those little roadside parks down there, had some breakfast. It's kind of a lazy day. I only have 7.5 miles left. But I, of course, waited till the heat of the day to start walking. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, my hat. I've had this thing for, 25, 30 years. And before I started, I noticed a little tear in the top. So I got some of those iron-on patches and patched it up before I left on the journey. And subsequently I found another tear up here somewhere, and then the headband is starting to fall off, and of course it's torn around the fringes of the brim. So I thought the hat was going to last me for another trip. I don't know. It might not even last me till Marquette. So what should I do? Try and make it as far with my trusty friend and have it fall apart somewhere out in the middle of nowhere? Or just get so tattered looking that people really think I'm a bum when I'm going through towns? Or do I look for a new one? So let me know what you think. Otherwise, I'm just walking along this snowmobile path for a little bit out here in the sun, and then up here it splits off between the highway and the snowmobile path. And I think I'll walk the highway because walking on the snowmobile path will maybe give me another half a mile or so. And with the way the sun is shining, I don't think I'm going to get any extra shade now from the path. So, be on the road here in a second. I think it's noisy now. Oh boy, wait till I get on the road then. Look at this. I found this little side road off the highway. It's a nice little residential area, so wasn't expecting this. So it's turned out to be a nice little detour. And it adds less than 1/10 of a mile, so it was a good trade-off. It's inviting, just go swimming in there, huh? Don't tempt me. Pretty Keweenaw Bay. I've been eyeballing this little beach the past 10 minutes or so, walking along the highway, and figuring that it's probably private property, or it was maybe Indian land here. But turns out it's owned by the State of Michigan Department of Transportation, State Highway Department. So how about that? Found a little path down here. So I think I'll spend a few minutes here along the beach. Maybe try and skip some stones. Pretty day, a pretty day. Yes, I would have to say it's a very nice beach. And you don't mind people getting a quick view of you from the highway as they pass along this way. It's a good swimming beach, if you know what I mean. Yeah, pretty nice. Water's a little bit cool. It's probably Southern California Pacific Ocean winter cool. Might be a little bit warmer, but still, it's kind of cool. All right, now I got to dry off. You know, I've had this interesting thought experiment a few times over these past couple weeks, and that is, if you were in a boat stranded out there out in the big blue beyond of Lake Superior, and you had no way of contacting anyone because you were unprepared and didn't take a radio, or your radio went kaput. Unlike being out in the ocean, you're not going to have the potential of getting dehydrated and dying that way, because you can drink that water. Whereas out in the middle of the ocean, if you didn't have a means by which to do a little solar still and evaporate some water and drink it, or catch some rainwater that would come along, you're pretty much toast. But out here, hey, at least you can last for a good while just drinking the water. Now, why I had these thoughts, I don't know, but I wouldn't want to experience that. But anyway, so if you're ever out on Lake Superior, or Lake Michigan for that matter, and your boat conks out, don't worry, you got plenty of water. Well, that was a refreshing little stop. If I had known that was there, I probably would have extended my day yesterday and just camped out there. It's a nice spot, sandy, soft, secluded. So, oh well, that's what you get for walking places that you don't know where you're going. So, anyway, onward to Baraga. 5 miles to go. You know, I've been hearing and seeing fireworks regularly as I've been going along the peninsula here. And it's interesting that I guess is it an all-year thing that they sell them here? But I've heard real big ones and seen big ones. And look at this, you know, skyrockets, not just bottle rockets, but skyrockets. And then 500-gram cakes, mortars. Interesting phenomena that I've not come across in other places. Just only seen them on Independence Day. So have at it, shoot them off. They're fun, aren't they? All right, just a couple miles into Baraga, and it'll be my little resting spot for the next couple days. So let's see what the place looks like. Gotten into a new kind of forest here. I forget what these pines are called, but tall, straight, and they really open up the forest floor. I wonder if I'll find this on the way to Marquette. It'll certainly be easier to find a camping spot if it is like this. I haven't passed too many cemeteries yet on this trip, but this will be the second sizable one of the day. And it's always, you know, it always puts you in thought when you pass a cemetery, looking at the people who have come and gone before us, and just thinking about the whole cycle of life, circle of life. And how our days here on Earth are really, they're just poof, about a second in time, yeah? And so it makes you reflect that we should just be out there doing good, loving others, and forget all this hate stuff that's going on. Just do good, be good, and love, right? Amen. Well, if this wasn't going to be my day off coming up, I'd consider staying here. But I want that lap of luxury for the next 2 days. So I'm going to stay in a motel up ahead here and have a real bed, real shower, air conditioning, all that sort of stuff that goes with it. Maybe next time, huh? This, by the way, is, I think it's the Ojibwe tribe. Ojibwe? So, a lot of this land around here is tribal land. And in fact, as I go around the bottom of the bay there, and then east over to Marquette, I'll be traversing some Indian land as well. I had to run across the road to get past traffic, and it scared these guys. Sorry. Carry on. I'm your friend. You don't need to go anywhere. So here's the town of Baraga, is how they pronounce it. I just went into Larry's Market over there, got some fruit. A couple of gas stations over there. Tire shop. Of course, got the Lakeside here. And some stuff up there. I'll get that when I get up there. Well, this town has been an assortment of little businesses. I'd call them service or industrial. Not really any retail except for the supermarket down there, a couple of gas stations. Haven't seen any restaurants. And there's the Historical Society right there. And here's the local radio station. So I'm actually, looks like I'm where I'm going to be for the next couple nights, right over there. And then also I can sleep well because there's the Michigan National Guard. So just in case there's any riots and they have to call out the National Guard, well, we're right here with them. Alright, staying in Baraga here for a couple nights and then off to Marquette. So here we go, nice room. Pretty good size. Nice afternoon sun. I'm on the street side, didn't pay extra for the lake view, that's alright. But Wi-Fi is pretty fast as well, so that's a good plus. So I'll just set up shop here and take a little rest for the next couple days. This, by the way, is called the Baraga Lakeside Inn, and like I said, it's just right across the way from the Michigan National Guard. Also, I got a package here, so I'll show you what it is later after I figure it out. I don't know if it was a good choice or not, but yeah, we'll see. Alrighty, so I'm gonna get wash up some clothes, get washed up myself, and see what they have for dinner. Steak. Alright, so I was leaving my day off, or my days off, from Baraga, and guess who I ran into? I ran into Chris and Morgan. They're doing a little adventure of themselves right here.